You gotta love the rumor mill in the NBA. The NBA, more than any other sports league, is a league that is rife with speculation. During the NFL offseason, we rarely speculate about where a franchise quarterback is going to be playing the following season. This past offseason in the NFL was rare. We were talking about where Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers were going to be playing this year. That does not happen very often. We know every year Drew Brees is going to be playing New Orleans. Russell Wilson, Seattle. Franchise quarterbacks don't change teams as often as superstars do in the NBA. With nothing going on the past couple of months in the world of sports, speculation has been rampant about the future of Giannis. Now that the NBA is nearing its return, the speculation's only going to grow as we move forward, get to the end of the regular season, playoffs, on into the offseason. Once the Bucks are eliminated from the playoffs, whether it happens before the NBA Finals or a loss in the NBA Finals, the media frenzy will reach a fever pitch about where Giannis will be playing in the future. Lately, there have been a couple of new teams emerge. Basically, it's the same headline. The Lakers have been prepping to pursue Giannis. The Miami Heat are going hard for Giannis. Toronto, a likely landing spot for Giannis. All 30 teams in the NBA are going to pursue Giannis in one way or another. I mean, the guy is a once-in-a-generation talent. We can eliminate the majority of the teams in the league, though. He's not going to end up in New Orleans, Orlando, Atlanta. You get the picture. My stance has not changed. Giannis, sooner or later, is going to end up with the Golden State Warriors. It is going to happen. I'm about to dispel these rumors about him possibly ending up a Laker or a Raptor or playing in Miami with the Heat. None of those three teams have a chance at landing Giannis. I'll tell you why. We're going to start with the Lakers. The other day, I talked about the potential need that the Lakers are going to have in the next year or two for another superstar level player. LeBron James, his production is going to fall eventually, sooner rather than later. I can't name one legendary player that has played at an elite level past the age of 35. LeBron playing at an MVP level this season is an anomaly. It just doesn't happen. Shams Charania from The Athletic stoked the fire the other day with the Lakers' pursuit of Giannis. Here's what he said on the Load Management podcast. Quote, "One thing I do know is how important winning is to Giannis. That isn't just lip service. Everyone around the Bucks understands that we have this window this year, next year, to try to make a run to winning a championship. And if we don't, Giannis will then look at under the lens of, listen, I gave Milwaukee all these years. Our goal is to win a championship. We had 3 amazing chances. At that point, he'll really have an opportunity to look at the teams that are going to have interest. Now, you can look at a bunch of teams. I'm sure the Warriors, Toronto, the Lakers. You know, the Lakers go and claim his brother off of waivers after he's cut. And I think an antenna went up around the league when that happened. But we're talking about Giannis. All 29, all 30 teams want him. But I'll say it again. Winning is very, very important. So I think we'll have a good understanding of where his mind is at depending on where the Bucks season ends this year or next year. So that's what Shams Charania had to say. The Lakers signing Giannis' brother is irrelevant. He's not going to make a decision on the next 3-4 years of his prime because his brother's playing on the fucking Lakers. Now, could Giannis win in Los Angeles? I mean, sure, he could. Him and AD together would be dynamic. But let me ask you this. Who is going to be running the point, getting them the ball? LeBron, of course. I mean, okay, you can say that. But what happens when LeBron inevitably declines? You'll have a situation where you have 3 superstar players on big contracts, and the Lakers wouldn't be able to afford to go get a serviceable point guard. They wouldn't have the money to get the type of guard that they'll need to make a championship run. They have Rondo on the roster, but he isn't nearly the player that he once was. This is also assuming the Lakers would have the cap space to pay both Anthony Davis and Giannis. I mean, Anthony Davis is going to be a free agent this offseason. So they're going to have to pay AD, Giannis, while also paying LeBron $40 million a year. LeBron is signed through 2021. Got a player option in 2022. Do you think he's going to turn down $41 million at the end of his career once 2022 comes around? Fuck no. Who knows what the fucking salary cap is going to look like with the millions of dollars the NBA's lost this season? The Lakers likely won't have the money to go after Giannis. And they're not a team that willingly goes over the cap and pays the luxury tax like some other teams in the NBA are willing to do. Giannis to the Lakers is also assuming that he wants to go to Los Angeles. He wants to play alongside LeBron James. Remember a couple of years ago, LeBron invited Giannis to train with him over the offseason? Giannis declined. Thanks but no thanks. He said he couldn't train with LeBron and go compete with him a few months later during the season. In other words, he doesn't want to be friends with LeBron. He doesn't want to be teammates with LeBron. He wants to compete against LeBron. He wants to destroy LeBron. Dwayne Wade said that he felt the reason Giannis declined the offer was because he and LeBron have different mentalities. He said that Giannis has a mentality that's similar to Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality. He doesn't want to be fucking friends with LeBron, play alongside him. He wants to beat him in the finals. Let's get to Giannis ending up in Toronto with the Raptors. I can kind of understand why this rumor could gain a bit of traction. The Raptors are good. They've got a loaded roster. Even with Kawhi Leonard leaving, Toronto's still the second best team in the Eastern Conference. They've got a young budding star in Pascal Siakam, two great veteran guards in Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. Nick Nurse, one of the best coaches in the league, liked by all of his players. All the Raptors are missing is that superstar player to get them to that next level. They have proven with the roster that they have built, if they have a superstar player added to the mix, they can win a championship. They proved that last year with Kawhi Leonard. More importantly, Toronto's expected to have the cap space next season to pay Giannis. Now, what does Giannis say his ultimate goal is? Win a championship. They have all the ingredients in Toronto to make that happen for him. All Giannis has to do is be willing to go there. And that is where the problem comes in. Giannis is not going to Toronto. He is not going to sign with the Raptors. Look, Toronto is a great city. Major metropolis. Beautiful city. One of the major cities in the world. Plenty going on to do there. But as far as the NBA goes, Toronto might as well as be Siberia. The Raptors have been in the NBA for 25 years, since 1995. Do you know how many superstar free agents have signed with Toronto in the past 25 years? 0. There have been plenty of superstar players that have come through Toronto. I mean, Chris Bosh, Vince Carter, more recently, Kawhi Leonard. There's one thing that all of those guys have in common. They all left Toronto as soon as they were able to. I went through and looked at the 25-year history of the Toronto Raptors. I wanted to see a list of the top free agents that they have signed since 95. You know who the number one free agent signing is for the Toronto Raptors? Jose fucking Calderon. Good player, but he wouldn't make the top 10 of the Lakers free agent signings. Other guys on the list: Anthony Parker, Rafer Alston, Jarrett Jack, Jamario Moon. Not exactly a list of future Hall of Fame players. In 25 years, a player at the level of Giannis has never signed with the Raptors. So what the fuck makes anyone think he is going to break that trend? There are only a handful of teams in the NBA that are attractive enough, both roster-wise and market-wise, for a player of Giannis's caliber. Toronto only checks one of those boxes. He would be in a completely different country. Guys like Giannis look at the big picture. endorsement deals, outside projects. Those things are much more difficult to do living in Toronto. The biggest threat to Golden State getting Giannis is the Miami Heat. There's a lot of positives with Miami. Young roster, Eric Spoelstra, a player's coach, Pat Riley. Miami is an epicenter of culture and fashion. They've got a good nucleus of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. The problem I see with Miami is that it's too similar to Milwaukee. If Giannis went to Miami, it's going to be him and a bunch of role players. I take that back. Jimmy Butler is better than a role player. But he isn't on the level of a Steph Curry or a LeBron James or a Giannis for that matter. You can make the argument that Jimmy Butler is one of the most overpaid players in the NBA. He is a career 17 points a game guy. If you ask me, that is not worth $35 million a year. Giannis would have the same problem in Miami that he's having right now in Milwaukee. He would be playing on a good team, not a great team. Not a team good enough to win a championship. Yeah, I mean, Miami would dominate the Eastern Conference every year if Giannis was there. But Giannis is already doing that in Milwaukee. That is not going to be good enough. What has Giannis been saying for years? What does Shams Charania say in his comments about Giannis leaving Milwaukee? What is the most important thing to him? Winning a fucking championship. Think about it. Which team gives him the best shot at a title? Miami or Golden State? The answer is easy. It's the fucking Warriors. Giannis already has a friendship, a relationship with Steph Curry. The Warriors have a recent history of success, multiple championships, 5 straight appearances in the NBA Finals. This would not be a Kevin Durant type situation either, where he was blasted and is still criticized for joining up with the Warriors in the middle of their dynasty. The Warriors are having the worst season of the Steve Kerr era. Giannis would essentially be coming to the rescue. Completely different situations. I've seen reports where the Warriors would have to break up Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to make this happen, make Giannis coming to Golden State a reality. I don't think that's going to be the case. Giannis is going to have all the leverage if he chooses to leave Milwaukee. He can tell the Bucks front office that, hey, I'm leaving after this season. And at that point, they would have until the trade deadline next season to move him. If they want to play hardball, they say, fuck you, we're not moving you. That's fine. They'll get nothing in return when he lives in free agency. So I'm not backing off my original take when I talked about Giannis and the Warriors on this podcast a while back. He is going to end up with Steph Curry. And it's going to be Dynasty 2.0 in Golden State. All right, that's all for today. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Appreciate you guys that have already done so. Leave me a comment in the section below. Realistically, do you think there's a chance that Giannis ends up with the Lakers or the Raptors or the Heat? Let me know your thoughts. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you have any questions, send them to BTLKC84@gmail.com. I will see you guys next time.